Formagi YouTube video K Lia Oper Jo Tum Ny Story Lik KDHS K Oper Tai Men Strong Hook Lik K Do. Hook Jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity Sai Barpor Hona Chaye K Mary Vauer Engage Ho Jn our video Ko NTK Deck and the Cloud Painter. The sky was a canvas of grey, heavy and restless. Liam stepped onto the hill, feeling the damp grass cling to his shoes. The wind whispered secrets through the twisted branches. Every step echoed in the emptiness around him. He carried a box of paints, colors bright against the gloom. His hands trembled as he opened it, the smell of turpentine sharp in his nose. Clouds drifted low, thick and slow, like they were hiding something. Liam raised his brush to the sky, tracing shapes that shimmered and shifted. Each stroke seemed to pull the clouds closer, darker. A chill crawled up his spine as the air thickened. The sounds of the world below faded, replaced by a hollow silence. Then he noticed the shapes changing, twisting unnaturally. Faces appeared in the grayness, mouths open, screaming silently. He froze, the brush dropping from his hand. The wind carried whispers, not in words but in a language he could feel in his bones. The sky grew heavy, almost breathing above him. Shadows stretched from the clouds, reaching for the hill where he stood. Liam realized he had not painted the clouds had painted him. Every instinct screamed to run, but his feet were rooted. The air pressed down, thick with a scent of wet earth and something older, something alive. Then a shape broke free from the mass, descending toward him slowly. It moved like liquid shadow, and his heart hammered in response. The shape hovered just above the damp grass, its edges flickering like smoke caught in the wind. Liam's eyes widened, his breath shallow. He could feel the pull of its presence, like a cold hand pressing against his chest. Every instinct screamed at him to move, but the ground beneath his feet seemed to thicken. It was as if the hill itself refused to let him go. The shadows from the clouds above stretched longer, darker, creeping toward him in slow, deliberate waves. He tried to lift his arm, to push the brush away, but his muscles would not obey. The wind no longer whispered. It roared, wrapping around him like invisible chains. The shape pulsed, and with each pulse, the faces in the clouds seemed to scream louder. He could hear their voices now, not words, but vibrations that shook his teeth, rattled his chest, and made his skull thrum. They were calling him, beckoning him toward the center of the hill where the shadows pooled like liquid night. Liam's fingers twitched as he reached for the brush, but it was heavier now, as if soaked with water. The paint inside it sloshed, blacker than the clouds above, and a scent of iron and decay rose from it. He gagged, but his body refused to move. The shape began to descend, slower than he expected, but impossibly massive. It was like watching darkness itself gather and fold into a living form. The air grew thick with electricity, snapping against his skin, raising goosebumps across his arms. He could see the eyes now, dozens of them, pale like the moon, scattered across the shifting shadow. They fixed on him, unblinking, patient, and impossibly hungry. A shiver raced down his spine. He realized, with sudden clarity, that the faces in the clouds were not just shapes. They were echoes, trapped pieces of something that had fallen from the sky long ago. And now they wanted him. The brush fell from his hand, clattering against the wet grass. He bent to pick it up, but the shape surged forward, faster than thought, faster than fear. The ground seemed to tilt beneath him as it passed, and the wind screamed in a high-pitched wail that pierced his skull. He felt himself lifted, not by hands but by the air itself, drawn toward the descending shadow. He tried to scream, but no sound came. His throat constricted as if the air itself had hardened. The shadow enveloped him, thick and cold, curling around his body like ink spilled in water. Every heartbeat felt like it would shatter inside his chest. Through the darkness, he caught glimpses of the clouds above. They writhed, alive, dripping shapes like melting wax. And each drop that fell carried a face, a whisper, a fragment of the world he thought he knew. He wanted to close his eyes, to escape the vision, but even his eyelids felt frozen. The darkness pressed closer, and in its center, he saw a mouth. A mouth that opened wider than reason, stretching impossibly across the shadow. It spoke, but the sound was inside his